were there, why don't you drop a little 1 or whatever number you want. Give me a little love in that comment section. So if you're on tonight, there we go. And a number of people who were there that are here again tonight. And, it was just a little bit of, this is a little bit of that, I should say. We get together, we get to share some stories, some knowledge, some information, and some love. Because that's what this company is really built on more than anything. And that was on display this past weekend. And I just, again, felt really good about, being there with Purium family. And tonight, we're going to continue a little bit. We're going to share with you a little bit of what we talked about this past weekend. And that was sort of stepping into or stepping up to a new way of talking about Purium. There's an old saying that says that when you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at change. And I started changing the way that I was looking at Purium. I started saying, I've got to look at Purium the way that other people might be looking at it. And so my philosophy was that we needed to meet people sort of where they were. We needed to talk in the way that people were talking today. Like, I remember when, my friends were still saying cool, and we were saying hot. If you're saying cool instead of hot, then you're sort of left behind, And then pretty soon the word hot was left behind, and they came up with another word that, that meant the same thing. But the bottom line is, the idea doesn't change, but the languaging around it might change. And so, again, my name's David Sandoval. I'm one of the founders of an incredible company called Purium. And Purium is based on a philosophy more than anything. And it's a philosophy around making people's lives better. And it's an old philosophy that was once said, you are what you eat, right? But today, I like to reword that, change the way we look at it, to say that the quality of the life that you live will be directly related to the quality of the food you eat. And that saying is now being turned into a science. So I'm going to say it again, that old saying is now a new science. And that new science has had several different names over these past years. Now, about 20 years ago, the National Cancer Institute discovered that they could actually fight disease better through lifestyle using food than they could through any drug. And they called that phytochemistry, phyto meaning plants. The chemistry of using plants instead of medicine. And we were actually celebrated in a way, because the National Cancer Institute said that we were leading the way in that new thing called phytochemistry. But that new thing called phytochemistry was just that old thing, you are what you eat, in a new scientific form. And then they actually discovered that the expression of genes is not predetermined at birth, that the expression of your genes, and that your genes actually have multiple expressed outcomes. I'm going to say it again, your genes have multiple expressed outcomes. And one of those outcomes is to not get disease at all. Well, another of those outcomes might be to die from that same disease. So that's called epigenetics. Not just genetics, but epigenetics. Those epigenes, if you will, that help control the genes. And they determine that those epigenes are impacted dramatically by the food that we eat. Again, that old philosophy. You are what you eat. Phytochemistry, epigenetics, it's all the same. And so today, there is this new movement, if you would, this new jargon, this new way of saying things that a lot of people have adapted, a lot of people are tapping into. And those words, okay, the way that we look at things, we call that biohacking. Now, when I looked up the description of biohacking, it basically seems to me like the biohackers have it all wrong. You see, all of the biohackers I've seen and heard and learned about are using all types of things that you can plug in or that require batteries. Their devices, their machines, their monitors. They might even be injections and some things like that, but they're definitely not lifestyles. But when you look at all of the goals of biohacking, what biohackers purport to want to do, and even how they intend to do it, the Purium lifestyle is written all over it. So with your permission, I'm going to go off camera so I can read some small writing without you seeing me squinting, because I want to share some details with you. And they're not details I've yet committed to memory. So I will be back to close up the call, but for now, I want to draw your attention to the screen where I'm going to put up a couple of descriptions. And the first one is just, what is this thing called biohacking? Well, people, and why do people do it, you know? So biohacking is done to optimize the body and to optimize your mind, to basically extend the quality of your life far beyond what your genetics might prefer. So it's a broad term encompassing various practices aimed at improving one's physical and mental health through experimentation, modifications to your lifestyle, to your diet, to your habits. It is a do-it-yourself approach to biology. And the whole reason is you seek to optimize the body's functioning to enhance your performance and potentially extend your lifespan. Well, this seems to be so similar to the Purium lifestyle. I'm just going to take 1 second, keep that slide up. Just want to bring attention to a couple of things. We make a promise, the Purium lifestyle promise, that you will look, you will feel, and you will perform better after only 90 days, sometimes dramatically better. Is what might be the ultimate biohack pack, the lifestyle transformation pack, the 90-day way. With this broad term, right, various practices aimed at improving oneself and mental health through self-experimentation. Well, guess what? A lot of people have, quote, experimented with the ULT and come away with massive changes in their life, modifications to their lifestyle, to their diet, that means the food they eat, to their habits, that means the way that they live. And look at the next phrase, it's a do-it-yourself approach to biology. Well, isn't Purium the ultimate do-it-yourself approach? We might nail you a box. But just like IKEA, it's just a box until you open it and put it together. Well, Purium is just a box until you open it and put it to work. So you're going to optimize your body's function. You're going to enhance your performance, look, feel, and perform better. And of course, it's not just about extending your lifespan. It's about extending your health span. It's not just how long you live. It's not just the years in your life. It's the life in your years. Now, why do people biohack? Well, the number one reason is to improve their health, to slow down the aging process, to optimize your brain and your cognitive performance, to increase your strength and fitness, and extend your lifespan. Well, our 4 biohack packs are going to do exactly that. All right, next slide, please. So again, your lifespan is only part of the story.
That's how it's supposed to be. Maybe you could
they say that you could live for 90 years, but last 20 or 30 years are spent medicated, are spent, immobile, having to use a walker, not being able to recognize your relatives with walking in the bed. with who's hooked up to you, keeping you alive. Unfortunately, like my father went out, hooked up to dialysis machine. He couldn't go more than 200 feet away from. So living long isn't really the goal. It's having a higher quality of life. Now, if you look at these two charts, you can see that, you know, few people who live to be 78, which is about how long Americans live these days. Those last 10 years could be brutal. The last 10 years could be brutal. You need to invest today, okay? You need to invest today in the quality of your life tomorrow. And if you look at the Purium Biohacking lifestyle, that you might see a completely different outcome. You might have the same 68 years, and they say after 68 you start to decline. So I agree, even if you, even if you are exercising, but the way you eat is so important. So now look at that vibrant health after 68. Okay? 68, 78, and beyond. Who knows? But again, it's an investment you make in your future self. And that's what biohacks are all about. Now, let's examine what the leading causes of death are. So heart disease, stroke, those are two things related directly to your lifestyle. Cancer, which is exposures in lifestyle. And respiratory disease. Again, I'm not going to talk about smoking, but that is the lifestyle, and that can come from living in big cities as well, from living next to a freeway. And so we want to look at these leading causes of death and let you know that prevention is the ultimate medicine. But prevention is the ultimate medicine, and prevention is the key, is a disease that you never get. It's a disease that you never die from. Now remember that the reason for people having a lower quality of life, the people for dying early, is oftentimes because they suffer from their body being in a state of disease. And so true biohacking starts with food. True biohacking starts with lifestyle. Not just monitoring what your body's doing, but impacting dramatically with a positive effect what your body is doing or possibly not doing. Now, did you know that most of the cells, not all, but most of the cells in your body are actually designed to die and be reborn? They regenerate themselves. Every 7 years, 100% of the cells that can regenerate do regenerate. Which means, now stop and listen to this, which means that every 7 years, you can have a new body for the most part. If you spend 7 years eating intentionally, 7 years eating in a way that builds up the strength of your body, then the 7 years following that will actually be better than the 7 years that came before that. Is that a phenomenal concept? So when you adopt the Purium lifestyle, you're not only investing in your future self, you'll have a little fun with words here. You're investing in your future cells. Okay? The cells that are going to regenerate, rejuvenate, rebuild themselves, will be stronger as opposed to weaker. And this is the dramatic concept of biohacking. Okay? Now, a lot of times that cerebral decline, you know what it's like. There's problems with our brains. It's just the truth. Now we have incredible products to reconnect the brain, the bioreceptors in the brain, with the biotransmissions that come from our gut. By repairing the lining of the gut, you are going to get rid of that foggy brain, the waking up tired, the need, even to, honestly, for so many people, to take naps and energy drinks, you're going to have more energy because your body is going to feel more alive. You're going to take the product called Biohacking, which will regenerate and rejuvenate the lining of your stomach and send those signals to your brain. Remember that is where our serotonin is produced. And so that's why you're going to be feeling better as well. Now, most people know that the pineal gland gets calcified, that it becomes toxic, not toxic, but it becomes calcified, it can be less able to do its job, which is process information, help you deal with stress, get rid of pent up, that's right, pent up information that your brain has not processed it, and is leading to extra stress. So the pineal clear is amazing at detoxifying your pineal gland. The next product to revive it all, the formula that was on further Reader's Digest, it says the end of aging to the brain has been discovered. The end of aging to the brain has been discovered. Now, I'm not going to make any such claim, but I will tell you that I've never given revival to anybody who does not feel the results within 1 to 3 days, dramatic results within 1 to 3 days, reaction time, memory, whatever it might be. And their brain is sharper. They feel like they have, a much better recall. And revival is really important. And again, the next apothecary. Apothecary makes sure that your body goes into deep sleep. Now, if it's an apothecary, into the deep sleep, but the pineal gland is processing all of that pent up information. It is like magic. So the biomedic works to revive it all. The gut-brain connection. The pineal clear works to keep it biomedic, right? Works with the revival with the brain gut connection. And then the pineal clear works with the apothecary for deep sleep and detoxifying the pineal gland, processing information. So the brain biohack pack is going to boost the power of your brain. I think you're going to feel it. We actually have the ultimate brain biohack pack where we're going to offer the super example and the white American ginseng. Now, the white American ginseng is phenomenal at helping reduce stress throughout the body, and it is really brings oxygen to the brain. White American ginseng helps oxygenate the brain, which is like magic for the brain. The super example helps your body respond to inflammation. It is one of the most potent forces in nature, found in the Arctic Circle and at the equator. Consumed by animals as diverse as, pelicans, as well as shrimp. I mean, these are an incredible food source from nature. Super example, white American ginseng at that. And again, you're going to feel a incredible rejuvenation of the brain. Now, we've got another pack to share, and that's the Collagen Plus Biohack Pack. Now, this is going to fill up and help create more collagen, which is filling the space between your tissue, like your skin, your organs, your bones. When you start to lose collagen, your skin starts to sag, you start to get wrinkles. Eat those routines, what they call crepey skin. When you have skin nails, apothecary, dark dairy protein, and super example, you're going to tighten up those muscles, tighten up the elasticity, you're going to increase the health of your collagen, you're going to, again, do all of those things with the renewed skin nails. You're going to give your body all of the nutrients that you need to actually build up tissue. The dark dairy protein has all of the exact proteins that you need to build collagen. And all of those fruits, incredible dark dairy fruits, combined with the apothecary to give it that extra boost. And again, we do have an expanded pack. Okay, we actually do have the ultimate version of this. Now, the 40X aloe vera has been scientifically proven to dramatically increase the rate that our cells, our skin cells, our dermis, our epidermis, and our subdermis are working to create healthy, new, fresh skin cells. Literally increases to up to 60%. And the power shake, okay, the power shake is full of incredibly regenerating, rejuvenating green foods, green plants, green superfoods like chlorella, like spirulina, that have so many nutrients, dramatically impacting the health and the wellness of our skin, our dermis, our subdermis, our collagen, the strength of our bones. I mean, this is a pack that is, it's so steep, that it might be built for women, but I guarantee you, fellas, this is something that everybody, if you started to see that crazy skin, where your six pack used to be, that crazy skin where your muscles used to be, it's time to start taking this collagen pack. It's for everybody. All right, our next pack is the Healthy Heart Pack. Now, this is a pack I feel very, very strongly about. For those of you who aren't aware that our can't beat this is extremely beneficial to your heart. It increases vascular integrity, increases the amount of oxygen that's carried to your cells. The heart needs more oxygen. They can't beat this. It increases that vascular integrity, which helps your capillaries, okay? Helps your capillaries, helps your blood vessels. It moves part of circulation. It helps your heart move blood through your body, increasing circulation. The heart aid, the name says it all. For those of you who know the history of this product, heart aid has been or was actually designed by a leading heart surgeon, maybe the leading heart surgeon in America. He designed the product for me, maybe the formula to make for him, and he was then going to sell it. But once I finished it for him, he thought it cost too much, and he didn't want to charge so much. He wanted something cheap, in other words. And so I told him the only way to make it cheaper is to make the potency half as much, to take the same ingredients and cut them in half, and then it would cost half as much. He didn't like that answer, and he decided to give the project, and we benefit from that because Heart Aid is now our repertoire, and it is amazing. It has all of the right ingredients for a healthy heart. Now, ionic elements, for those of you who don't know, magnesium is critical to your healthy heart as well. Ionic elements is all over 72 trace elements, trace minerals, essential minerals, but 40% of it is actually magnesium. Now, magnesium helps our body deal with what are called parasympathetic muscle activities. That's like our eyelashes, batting, us breathing, and of course, most importantly, our heartbeat. Our heartbeat is subject, like stroke and heart attack, subject to missing a beat, subject to going out of rhythm. And that means that the parasympathetic muscle activity is not working properly. And that's the reason we include ionic elements. And of course, Biomimetic has been clinically proven to reduce C-reactive protein by 75%. That's right, in a small-scale clinical study. And guess what? What's the number one thing your heart doctor's going to look at when the lab reports come back? C-reactive protein. I mean, this pack is magnificent, you guys. For anybody you know who's worried about heart health, but guess what? We have the ultimate. We have the ultimate pack, and with this, again, we add the super xanthan, which you already know. It's an amazing response to inflammation. And the apothecary that is, again, I hate to repeat myself, but it has the antioxidant capacity of 5 to 6 servings of blueberries. It helps create a healthy response to inflammation. It helps your body get a deep, deep sleep. One of the leading causes or risk factors for heart disease is poor sleep. So I want to tell you that the ultimate healthy heart biohack pack is worth recommending and worth exploring. Now we're getting near the end, you guys know this one really well. Our products for athletes are legendary. You know, Super Xanthan. Super Xanthan is known to help your body. Now this is a little bit of science, okay? Now when your body creates energy, it uses something that is, oh, how do I explain it? Imagine that there are, imagine that, it's hard to take a scientific term. Okay, here's what Super Xanthan does. Okay, it helps actually restore energy. Once your body has started to create energy from your cells and burn energy, it actually replaces that energy in the middle of your workout. ATP is the energy source for your cells. Adenosine triphosphate. And each one of those triphosphates, there's 3 phosphate bonds, okay? And every time your body rips a phosphate bond off of that, it is like your car sparking and creating energy in your engine, like your piston is pumping. And for most people, when you take off 1 phosphate bond, you start to get a little weaker. When you pull off 2 phosphate bonds, when the adenosine triphosphate, your body actually builds lactic acid, and you start to feel sore and heavy and tired. So what Super Xanthan does, it actually restores, it contributes phosphate bonds to your cells as they're burning energy, meaning you delay the onset of torque, soreness, tiredness, heavy muscles, and lactic acid. So I won't not go into the science, but then I decided I should. Okay, the super aminos, as you know, deliver protein to your body 99% used by your muscles, starting in only 22 minutes. The Super formula was designed to help your body support or have healthy levels of testosterone. You know, if you're working out for men or women, testosterone is critically important. And of course, can't beat this. It is basically the healthiest energy drink you'll ever have. I'm going to say it again. Can't beat this. Is the healthiest energy drink you'll ever have. It's time to ditch your energy drink. Ditch your pre-workout energy drink and drink the Can't Beat This. Just 10 to 15 minutes before your workout, you're going to love it. Going a little fast here. Let's go over the ultimate pack. The ultimate pack, you're going to add that energizer, okay, that endurance builder, White American Ginseng, and that recovery product, Joint Flex. Now, White American Ginseng is one of the best endurance supplements I have ever tried. All of the people who I advise who are athletes, they get White American Ginseng. I mean competitive athletes, people who are going to the Olympics, people who are in the octagon, MMA fighters, UFC fighters. I have them all on White American Ginseng. So again, let me get back on track here. I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. We're running just a little bit over, but I want to ask in the comments, who's excited about these biohack packs? All right. Honestly, I think that this gives us a reason to talk to people who might not have been ready for Purium before. You know, gives us a reason to open the conversation with people, athletes, people who are aging, people who may not be interested necessarily in a full-on Purium lifestyle transformation, but we know we want them to get healthier. We know that we are praying for them, you know, honestly, like just praying for them to wake up to the fact that their body needs more, that they need to start investing in their future self and their future selves and their future period. And that by the time the decline happens, it could be too late. You need to start investing in the person you're going to be 7 years from now. And as hard as that sounds. And so this is not just a diet. It's not just some products. This is the lifestyle. It's a lifestyle that will begin to pay major, it's going to pay you back for that investment. It will have compounded interest the longer you live. And so once again, you know, my name is David Sandoval. I'm super excited about these new packs. And I don't want you to forget that the ULT is the ultimate biohack pack. The 90-day way is the ultimate biohack pack. But once that 90 days is over, a lot of people ask me, what comes next, you know? And some people say, you know, I really love ULT, but I don't know if I could do 2 green drinks a day for the rest of my life, you know? Well, this is that answer. This is that answer. A lot of people will get a biohack pack and then they'll add the power shake to it if it doesn't have it already. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. Sorry if I talked too fast. Sorry if I lost my concentration a couple of times. You know, I have to be honest with you, I haven't had a day off and going on about 2 weeks. And it's okay, because when you do what you love and love what you do, then you're not working at all. So again, for the over 220 people who joined me here tonight, I just want to say, you know, our family is worth the time. You know, if you don't sleep, but you get to take care of your family, to me, that's totally okay. And the way that we take care of each other and the Purium family and this Purium community is such a beautiful thing. And I want to just say, for those of you who are here this weekend, there were a few of you, if not all of you, who really filled my cup, really filled my heart, really made me feel appreciated, made me feel loved, made me know that this mission that I'm on is purposeful. Let me know that this mission that I'm on, you know, I'm not alone. I mean, there are so many of you who are so amazing, so fantastic, such wonderful warriors for all the right reasons, to protect our children, protect this planet, to protect yourselves and your families, and to protect our neighbors and our communities. So thank you, and more thank yous for those of you who weren't there this weekend and still do all those same things. Thank you as well. May it be blessed.